Hey guys, welcome back. I don't know why it took me this long to review this album. I thought I would have reviewed it already. Evidently I didn't. This was I have one of the Slipknot album. I'm like, I haven't reviewed it already? What the hell am I going? What am I doing? Like what? I gotta tell you, I have no track with the albums that I review. If you want a certain album reviewed, let me know down below. Because I'm off on this track. Like, I literally recorded like some crappy albums reviewed, not recorded. I mean, I guess I could record. Anyway, um, but I did review some crappy albums before I got the Slipknot, before I got that. And I still want to do the Slipknot one, which I may actually listen to that tonight, and that might go up next. Stay tuned for that. Or Korn, Life is Peachy, maybe next, because I know that album is not the greatest album in the world. Anyways, since the Korn fans are here, and I just told you Life is Peachy is not the greatest album in the world, probably not a huge fan of that, what I just said. Anyways, let's get on to Korn, the self-titled album. 1994 is when this came out. Korn exploded onto the scene. I remember because I was a part of the madness. But you have to remember that when Korn came out, this album came out in 1994, and if I remember right, they didn't explode until like a couple years later. It had spread, and it really became evident that this was going to be a huge band, because I remember being a freshman in high school, which that was around 96. Then it had really gotten deep, because I think Life is Peachy had just came out. They were still living off the hype of the first one. And they really just did a lot more of the first album than their Life is Peachy, because, like I said, wasn't too many songs on Life is Peachy that was super good. Like, there's a few. But when we review that album, we'll talk about that. But this is the original album. And I remember seeing the concert footage of Blind and, Clown and, Faggot. Which this review is going to have some bad words. Just be aware of it. Because I have to say it, because they're part of the songs and lyrics and stuff. Anyways, seeing the crowd just like, whoa, whoa, like just jumping. When you see like a whole massive amount, like 100 people or 2,000 people jumping at the same time, is insanity. The video clip that you see of it happening. But anyways, track number one. Let's get right into this. Blind, the biggest, and I said this before on another album. One of the best opening tracks, and I kind of had to take it back to, I may have said something about that before, but this has to be the most memorable of a band's opening track. Because Blind is one of those iconic tracks that when you hear that, you're like, oh, that's Korn. Because it's so iconic that when you hear that, and you hear that, it's over. You know who it is. You're like, oh, like if you're hearing it on the radio or you're hearing it on Spotify or any kind of streaming thing, you hear that, you know what song it is. And if you came from this era, you'll be like, ooh, Blind. And you'll turn it up because you like the song. And Blind is one of those ones that I don't think you get bored with, really, per se, because it's actually a pretty good song. Holy shit, great opening track. It's just slamming, and it's mosh pit friendly. I mean, oh my god, it's like everything about this album. Great opening beat to it. The riffs, amazing. The lyrics, great. And I think, to be completely honest, I don't think there's a whole lot of lyrics to this song. It's mostly riffing and stuff, which is awesome. It's super, for one of those songs, it's one of those most iconic songs of a band's, and to not have like a lot of lyrics, because I don't think it does. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me. But it seems like there's just not a lot of lyrics, or if it is, it's just a lot of the same. For that being, it's amazing. And there's amazing how many songs out there are like that are iconic songs for bands. Anyways, track number two, Ball Tongue. This song wasn't bad, but I think it always got skipped by me because of the fact that the beginning is just, there's no words for a while, and it sounds like a little bit of a filler kind of hard rock at the beginning. And that's probably why it got skipped by me before. I listened to it. It wasn't a bad song. It's not a horrible song, but it's not something you're going to go, oh, dude, did you hear that Ball Tongue song by Korn? Probably not. You probably don't remember that. Because if you listen to all their other albums, do you think Ball Tongue is going to stick out to you? Probably not. It's average song. Number 3, Need To. Need to what? I don't know. They didn't finish the sentence. But not bad. There's not much lyrics on this one. But it was, when did I put that down there? Oh, okay. I said, nah, I write notes down, and like, I remember what I listened to. It's like, sometimes I'm like, what the hell did I put down? But I put not bad, but not much lyrics that mean much. Emotional, though. So it was kind of an emotional song, and I think it was a good song because it was kind of emotional. But you gotta think about this. This is Korn's first album. So there is going to be a little bit of experimentation here on people's opening tracks. And this is a band that kind of started. I know this is kind of I guess I should say popularized nu metal. Them and Limp Bizkit kind of really, really popularized it. And when they went boom, like all the other record labels were looking for bands like that that could do stuff like that. Now, if you go back in time, you'll actually find bands that did this before them. But the fact is, this band was able to get heavier. And that probably could be questionable, too, from guys back in the time. They probably were kind of heavy, too. And there's been bands that have done this before Korn and Limp Bizkit, but they didn't popularize it. They didn't do it good enough to get the attention of the mainstream audience. These bands did. So, now a lot of bands that did stuff like that, as soon as Korn and Limp Bizkit came into the scene, they found them out. They went back and found all these other people, and then kind of became the question, I know a lot of question back then was, who started nu metal? And I think even nowadays, you can't really take that claim, but I think Korn and Limp Bizkit probably could, because they popularized it. So, anyways. But Need To was, like I said, this is an emotional kind of song, and it wasn't bad, but, something you're probably not going to remember. It's an average song. Number 4, Clown. Where? Wait, that's not what I said, where. Oh my god, that's not even close. Anyways, Clown. Horror? Classic and awesome. Epitome of Korn. Definition. Oh, so this song, I wrote this down for a reason, is that if you want to tell somebody what Korn is, and if you want to give them a song like, well, what's Korn sound like, you really should tell them to look up the song Clown by Korn. And I think that this song is an epitome of, if you want to tell somebody what their actual sound is, tell them to check out Clown by Korn, and this will definitely give them a great picture of what all they can do. Because I kind of think they throw a little bit of everything in this song, which is great. And they even add a little comedy. I think it's at the beginning or at the end where somebody just yells whore randomly, question mark. Like question marking whore? I don't know. Anyway. That sounds like a band name. Couldn't that be a band name? Question marking whore? Somebody's got to take that and run with it. Take that. Somebody take that and make a band out of it. That'd be awesome. Anyway. I can't talk today. I just recorded another video before this, so if you see that, you'll know which video I'm talking about. Number 5 was Divine. No, it wasn't Divine as it was a good... I mean, actually it was, but anyway. The song was called Divine. It was rough at start, but you got to listen to it, and it gets better as it goes. This is actually a really good song, and I'll probably say this later on, or maybe I didn't. This is one of the ones probably that I didn't realize was actually a good song, because I never really listened to it all the way through. But this actually is a great song, and if you've never listened to Divine by Slipknot or by Korn, I don't even know what flipping album I'm doing. Oh my god. I just woke up, but still, that's not a good reason for me not to be able to get my words put together. I'm a fucking idiot sometimes. Anyways, it gets better as you go. But one of the songs by Korn that maybe you didn't listen to very much on their first album, go back and check it out, because it's actually a pretty good song. Divine. Like I said, rough at start, but once you listen to it, it gets better. Give it a chance. Number 6, one of those songs that you're like, oh man, I love that song, but I don't know what it's called. You really should know what it's called. But the lyric is not what I thought it was going to be. Let me go and see. think that's what song it is, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. I know there's one song, but I don't think it's on that song. Hold on, let me look it over here. Do. Nope. Okay, I don't know what song that was. Just suck my and effing like it. I don't think it's that song. You'd think it would be that song, but it's not that song, I don't think. It could be. I could be wrong. Anyway, number 6 was Faggot. Name of the song. Sorry, if you're offended, they named it. I didn't come up with the word, didn't come up with the song. There you go. Actually, I think it was that song because I was going to put something in parentheses and I forgot to put it in parentheses. There's a start to the parentheses, but that's it. Great song. There's one point at the end, which I just said that the thing is super iconic because at the very end, there's a pause and then Jonathan Davis yells in grand profanity, "You can suck my dick and fucking like it." I didn't say it. I mean, I did just now, but he's the one that says it in the song. And there's a pause after he says it, and then the music comes back in. Super iconic. Any Korn fans can tell you it's one of the things that they remember from one of those first albums. You remember Blind, you remember the Clown song, and you remember Faggot. And Suck My Dick and Fucking Like It. That's like the iconic thing that you remember from Korn. You also remember track number 7, which 6, Faggot, was an amazing song. Anyway, and it's cool to say, like, what's that favorite song you like on Korn? Oh, it's called Faggot. And we're like, I would have recorded it on purpose. Anyways, number 7, Chutes and Ladders, another classic that people will also remember from this album, but you probably don't remember what it sounds like. That's the thing. That's the thing that happened to me. Classic Korn, heavy nursery rhymes, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. I don't know what they were thinking here. But it worked. It really did work, so I don't know. Maybe they should have did more. I would like to hear Heard Mary Had a Little Lamb by them. I think it would have been interesting. Anyways, number 8. Predictable. No, that's the name of the song. It's Predictable. But it is kind of predictable because it's kind of average. It was just kind of bland. I didn't really think this was like an overly great song, but it was an average song. And I don't think that I'll get to track number 10 because I'm on 8 right now. But track number 10 was the only one that was actually like a song you're like, meh, and you probably would pass. And which I think I've heard people refer to the song and they actually like it. So probably overall, like I said, Korn was a pretty good album. Like this first album is pretty iconic. Because of the fact that it was such a great album. Like the songs were really good. You could just sit there and chill to the whole album, and it all kind of flows pretty well. Even with them kind of experimenting, which I'll get to in a second. But Predictable was actually an average song. Nothing special there. Number 9 was Fake. Another decent song, but it's just forgettable. Like I said, moving on to the other albums, you'll definitely forget about some of these songs that were just okay and just there kind of just to fill out the album a little bit. I'm not going to call them filler because they flowed with the album. So there must have been some kind of flow to the album that they figured out. Number 10 was kind of the one where it's like, it doesn't suck. It's an average. I'm not sure. It's somewhere in between there. So really no song sucked on this album. But Lies, I wasn't sure what it was. The lyrics were okay, but the music was like everywhere. Like I don't know what they were trying to do with this song. Like going back and listening to it and actually giving it a chance and listening to the song, I didn't understand what they were trying to do here. It was kind of crazy and all over the place. Number 11 was Helmet in the Bush, or Helmet in the Lush. I don't know what that means. But it was average. Not bad. It was a grooving song beat. The song beat was awesome, and the song was grooving, but just something there just was not hitting it for me. And it wasn't that great to me. So Helmet in the Lush, average song. Number 12, here's the song where some people might, and this is one of the songs that is super iconic, but sometimes I think people forget about this song, because I always seem to forget about this song, is that this song is a really good song. It's a very, very emotional song. You do not want to listen to this when you're like depressed, because it'll probably put you in more of a depressed mood. It's a very emotional song. It's awesome. But it really does show layers to what Korn can do, and later on, it kind of shows you where they kind of got that from, and where they could go to that place, and make those slower tempo songs and things like that now I think they're pretty much stuck in because of the era that we're in now. Nu metal's kind of almost dead. Every once in a while you hear a hint of the nu metal come out of them. Limp Bizkit tried to come back, and people just didn't receive them well. And I think Limp Bizkit shouldn't go away, though. The fans that they have will stick around and will like them, and they'll eventually, I think, catch back on to them. So I hope Limp Bizkit doesn't go away officially, like forever, because I think them and Korn still have a place in music today. They're still doing well. Korn's actually back together with Monkey, or Head, my bad, with Head. But I think one of the other members wants to leave now. I don't know. I heard rumors like so many times. I have no idea. But Head's back with a group now. So I'm happy about that they're back together. Head went on this religious journey. I think they came back around, and now I think they're all just kind of trying to make like kind of wholesome music. Not Christian music, but that they curse every once in a while. It's not a big deal, but I don't think they're going out of their way to be profane like they were at the beginning. I think like up until, what was the thing? Life is Peachy. What's after that? Follow the Leader. After Follow the Leader, you kind of see them trying to conform to the mainstream and things like that. And it's not a bad thing, but it's just trying to be more radio friendly, trying to be that band that can catch more of an audience, honestly. But Daddy, like I said, it was a very emotional song. It's a really good song. If you listen all the way through, it's a great song. Actually, it's up there with probably one of the best songs on the album. If you want to really consider everything about, this album, it's probably one of the better songs on the album. Up there with Blind and Clown's really, really good. It's in the top contention. So let's talk about the tracks that really stood out to me on this album. And of course, the albums I super like because the videos go super long and I can talk more about them if I know more about them. And sometimes I could do research on an album, but it's just more about personal experience. But Blind was a super good song. Clown was a super good song. Divine, track 5. Faggot, number 6 was really good. 7, Shorts and Ladders. Shorts and Ladders don't make much sense. If you get on a ladder with shorts on, people might be able to see your giblets, so watch out. Anyways. Sorry. Number 12 was Daddy, and those are the standout tracks. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 songs. Pretty good. Like I said, pretty much a more than half ratio is a good ratio to have when you're making an album, and about 6 of the songs are super, super good. And that kind of makes people want to buy the album and say that it's really, really good. So, it is what it is. There you go. There's my review of the Korn self-titled album. And I must admit that I did want to review this album. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a while. When I figured out I didn't review it yet, I'm like, I got to get on that because I really want to put that out on the channel. So anyways, before I start rambling on for no effing reason whatsoever again, I'm going to end this video before it gets to 20 minutes because that's insanity. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. Leave your comments down below. What do you think about the self-titled album by Korn? A lot of people like the original album and Life and Peachy. Even after that, people just kind of started to fall off as fans of Korn because they kind of seen where it was headed. I'm kind of the one that still enjoys Korn today as what they are. Every once in a while they'll put out a song where I'm like, that's not bad. Narcissistic Cannibal I think was one of the last great songs by them. But they did have a song. I think they had an album I listened to. It may have been, was it Untouchables? It was some album I listened to, and it's actually not bad. So if you haven't listened to Korn for a while, give some of the newer albums a listen, because I do think that they are kind of going back to the roots a little bit, and they're starting to kind of sprinkle in some old stuff. So, like I said, I kind of like them for what they are. I listen to the albums as they come out and kind of see if they're any good, because I do know they have the talent to do it. I mean, the first album was amazing. It blew me out of the water, and it blew a lot of people out of the water. So to say they don't have it, that's not something I can say. They definitely have something. So that's all I got to say about that. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. Put your comments down below about the album, what I said about the album, and everything else you want to say about Korn. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. Catch you guys later. Keep rocking and keep on listening to Korn.